This was a week for us, a historic week in the life of our church. We went to city council this week. What happened is, after having gone through all this and making adjustments, after getting the city staff of San Diego's recommendation for this.
And we also typically ask the church applicants to provide information about what programs they run today, what programs they expect to run in the future, and what the usage and the attendance at those sorts of things would be. Based on information provided by the church, it is a good question about having a basketball gym that would only be used by 5 people a day. But that was the information provided by the applicant team on that.
What about the portion on the website that Councilor Campillo showed us saying that it would be open to basketball leagues from the community?
That was not part of the application, so it was not, there was no consideration that staff made assuming any kind of organized basketball. That was not part of their application, so it was not part of the consideration of the information that we used.
After getting a unanimous approval vote with the planning commissioners, who are the experts in this, we were blindsided by a denial vote, and it hinged upon a very faulty logic that actually, what all the experts said, and different people have said that have done this for 30 years, that they've never seen a project be treated like this in San Diego history. Because in the end, what it hinged on was we got treated as if we were a church and a gymnasium, like a sports facility, and so instead of just a church. And then what we said was, okay, well, if that's the problem, even though we've been in numerous meetings where no one's ever brought this up, and we sat here and you just treated it.
Let's talk about this multi-purpose event center. This is brought up because the daily trip calculations related to this proposed 7,000 square foot multi-purpose event center and basketball court are a significant red flag. Per their description of the light project shown above, it is intended for youth and community sports. Yet the applicant claims 0 to 10 average daily trips attributed to this 7,000 square foot space. It becomes apparent that using a 0 to 10 daily trip standard is unrealistic.
And we sat here and you just treated us kindly and said everything was good. But if that is the case, then we'll just let it go. We'll let go of the gym, no problem. But then there wasn't any discussion to be had. And so it was just said, nope, move to denial vote, and we're out. You know, we were all shocked because no one saw this coming. And in the same way, we're not surprised. Because if you read the Bible, which I do, from Genesis to Revelation, there are attacks against the people of God. And this is a spiritual attack. I mean, I was like, Lord, I relinquish San Diego to you. Like, I let everything, I was remembering the reformers that got chased out of town. John Calvin, kind of a big name. John Huss, right? These people, and I'm reflecting on them. I'm also thinking about all the ones that were put in jail for their faith. I'm like, God, thank you. I came home from that and sat at dinner with my son. Like, it could be a lot worse right now. I'll go anywhere. If you're saying, let go of the church, let someone else have it, I'll do it. If you're saying move over, I'll do it. And by the way, Jesus was persecuted, he was beaten, and he was killed. So why, Christian, would we expect to not have it said, hey, no project has ever been treated like that in San Diego history? I mean, I think you know this, but the light project's not over. Like, we're not like, oh, man, well, I guess we'll just shut the doors and move to Idaho. Listen, no man or no group can stand against us. And one of my dear friends was in the room, and he's pastored numerous churches, and now he's a part of our church, and he comes up to me and says, Beijing. I said, what? And he said, I was in Beijing, and the government came so strong against the church, and you couldn't even meet publicly. And there's never been a revival in a country like in China and the amount of people, and you can't stop. And the church, and if you think that persecution actually is going to make people stop, it only makes us draw nearer to God, trust him more, and the church expands and moves and loves more and serves more. It will only arise. And he's like, so the devil's overplayed his hand again. This is what has happened through the history of the world. Yeah, it seems impossible now to build this building, but can I tell you what God's called us to is so much bigger than a building?
2 weeks later.
Church, before we get going, I've got some awesome news. This week, a facility was secured for All People's Church. And so, and it gets better than this, because I told you to put it on some business leader or some church leader that has the ability to like make a room for us. Not only has there been a room made for us, but they want us to be able to buy it so it's like ours. And so that's going to happen. It is bigger, it is better. So it is in the radius that we've always believed for, between the 805 and the 125, the 52 and the 94. So God is good. God brought an amazing victory. We're about to own our own facility, which is just incredible. First of all, I just want to thank everyone who showed up yesterday for our first cleanup day of our new facility. Yes, there we go. God has given us the ability to own our own place.
Hi, my name is Dan Dalton, and I'm an attorney with the law firm of Dalton and Tomich in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm a religious land use attorney. So what is RLUIPA? What it does is it puts religious entities on the same path in the same standards as secular entities. It doesn't give churches or religious organizations extra rights, or is not a super zoning organization or a super zoning ordinance for religious organizations. It just levels the playing field for them.